Welcome to another Founder Wisdom podcast. We have Lars Helgeson for a round two. Lars is the founder and CEO at Complete CRM. I remember round one, which was a year or two ago. The time passed so quick in the AI age. Bootstrap business from what I remember, right, Lars?
Yep,
That was
that's right.
quite impressive, and the lifestyle that you've built for yourself, right? Traveling with your dog and so forth. You're a speaker and author and innovator, thought leader. So glad to jump on a round two today. This one is brought to you by podpire.com. If people want to start their podcasts, they can go on my website and find an ebook there. I'll teach them how to AI start their pods and monetize with lead gen, sponsorships, and AdSense money. So podpire.com for that. Lars, welcome to the pod for round two. Tell us again who you are and what you're up to nowadays.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's great to be here. A lot has changed over the last couple of years. When it comes to AI and technology and how it works, all the things it's capable of doing. We've really done a lot of work to build AI into our CRM, and I think we talked last time. We have a direct model where companies can come to us to use CRM for their to manage their sales and marketing and customer service. And then we also have Complete CRM, which is our licensing model that allows, if you're a consultant or an organization that has existing clients, you can license the technology and bring it to your own channel. And we've actually reduced a lot of the pricing up front to make that a lot easier for businesses to get into that. And we've added a lot of AI related capability into our system. And so I think really, from funnel analysis to content analysis and content generation and all the different things that kind of go in there, having that all in one place and really easy to use and just automatically contextualized just makes all the difference, because you don't have to do any prompt engineering. All you got to do is just tell it what you want, and it kind of figures out all that for you. So pretty fun stuff that we've built, and our clients are really reaping the benefits of it.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what's happened in the last couple of years with AI. What is your strategy to keep up with it? How do you consume your content and decide like, okay, guys, we need to pivot and instantly add that to our roadmap?
Yeah, a lot really comes from our customers, when they're approaching us and saying, we need to be able to, more effectively send messages, or we need to be able to really analyze our business process to find out if we're doing things the right way or if there are things we can be doing differently. And the nice thing is with AI, it's a lot easier to integrate those kinds of things, because you just have to figure out how to write the prompts correctly and figure out how to gather the information correctly. So in the last couple of years, we've extended a lot of what we ask our customers about their business models, so that when we run AI analysis on a funnel or generate content or analyze content to see if you're a salesperson and you're selling your products and services to a lead, looking at the actual business's strengths and weaknesses, what their value proposition is, building all of that into the prompt automatically, so that when it analyzes a message or generates content, it has the context of what you're actually trying to do. And so by making it simpler for the end user, we make it faster for them, more efficient, and the content that is generated and the analysis just makes a lot more sense. It's a lot easier. There's less tweaking and reading through and thinking like, well, does this really say what I want to say? We're able to do that with AI now, with all of by gathering all that additional information, we're able to do that.
Right. And is it, well, first it's getting the contact in my CRM, right? I'd love to have that done automatically. I guess that's a simple integration with my Google Calendar in my case. Then it's finding that I have the intention to follow up with that client. That might be 100% of my clients, but it's like, okay, yeah, I need more business now. And then it's what the message is conveying. Are you following up with that client? Is it by email in most cases? Is it a call? Is it a WhatsApp, right? So the AI can help at all of these stages, right? Can it also detect the temperature of the contact, if they're hot or not? Like, tell us about the full stack here.
Yeah, I mean, so we do that already with, and we have for a long time with lead scoring.
Yeah.
Where we're taking, we're assessing all the things, all the interaction points, and then we can also, we assess the messages to see the interest and all that. I think one of the things that we launched recently that is really it's a really big deal is hyper personalization. So that when you send a message, you can set up automated workflows and you can build landing pages and websites that are specific to that individual. So imagine, and I think you might use Calendly. We have our own appointment setting system, right? But imagine if you reach out to someone and you say, "Come back to my landing page," and when they go to that landing page to make an appointment, they see a paragraph or a headline that's specifically made for them. And you can see this if you go to the GreenRope pricing page, for example, or you go to a couple of the other pages on our website. We've created now hyper personalization. It's super easy. You can do it with email and you can do it with landing pages or websites. And any website, it doesn't have to be something built on our system. As long as you embed the JavaScript on the page, if we identify who's visiting the page, it will custom write content for that individual. So you can imagine if you say, "I really would like you to be on the podcast," and then they go there and you have an AI generated piece of content that says, "This is specifically why you want to be on my podcast," because the person, maybe they're the CEO of a technology company, maybe they're based in California, maybe they're based in Texas or whatever, maybe they're in a particular industry, but you let the AI write content that is specific to that individual. That is hyper personalization. And having that ability to pull that information together and write good, meaningful content that is personalized to that individual, the impact that has on conversion rates it's upwards of 40%. And so, and it's easy, with our platform, at least with GreenRope or Complete CRM, it's super easy. Like, you just build you write, and you can actually use the AI to help you write the prompt, to help you generate the content. But and that's all built in, and it's designed to make it easy so that that if an individual is coming to your page, they're seeing content written specifically for them.
Right. I believe you on the impact, especially that they have a great product, just that most emails written by GPT, and I mean, you might prompt them to write a different type of emails, but they all look ChatGPT generated. And the second thing is that most people, or well, most AIs, 100% of AIs do not know how to offer the right thing at the right time to the right person. Do you have a solution to that? Because I have a bunch of follow-ups on my Calendly. You'll see a bunch of them, and they're super innovative offers that most people still don't understand. But my acceptance rate is like through the roof, right? How does an AI? How can an AI figure out what is the right offer to the right person at the right time?
So you got to give it more, and you never, with AI, you never give it total free reign over all of your content. You always want it to be very specific so that it falls in the context of the greater message. So, like, if you're going to build a landing page, you never want the whole landing page designed by AI or built by AI. You want that landing page to have all the content, the messaging that you control, and then parts of it personalized for the person. So you're not giving AI free reign to just go write whatever. You're saying, write a specific paragraph or write a specific headline that explains why this particular offering is more relevant to this individual, as opposed to saying, let's just blindly guess and just let AI just spit out whatever. So you can write those rules into the prompts if you want to give it more free reign, but you have to be really specific about it. So what we recommend really is limiting what the AI does to a smaller section where the person is going to really see the impact of why is it important for me to watch your podcast? Why is it important for me to be a guest on your podcast, on your show? And if you limit that to very, very small sections, the personalization part is the impact. And of course, you can always add more and more rules and make it more complex about, offer this if these certain conditions are met. But I think at the stage that AI is in now, it makes more sense to have a more directed approach to how to use it, how to leverage it, and then do the hyper personalization that way.
Right. I want to shift to personal stuff about Lars, and you've always been like a world explorer, right? Building a business in service of living this life. Has anything changed for you after COVID?
Not after COVID. Actually, probably the biggest change that I've had lately is I unfortunately had to put my little companion to sleep, and that was probably the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life, to be candid. Because for 14 and a half years, I had him with me and my little Boston Terrier, and we would go everywhere together. We would camp, and I could work remotely. The business has always been a remote business. And so now I think anyone who's lost a pet, or the pet is, and I think a lot of people in tech are probably a little bit more introverted. They tend to be a little quieter. And I definitely fall in that category. And so for me, having my dog around was a big part of my lifestyle. He was a priority for me. And now he's not here. And I think that whenever those of us who are in this space, and we have, a very close, whether it's a close person, a close friend, a close partner, in and having like a dog companion for me was very close, and for him to no longer be here is a big adjustment. It's a big shift in what, rather than he's no longer around to be the priority of so much of what I do. And so there's sort of like this good and bad, in the sense that, obviously it's extremely sad, and the recovery process takes a long time, but then it also opens up a little bit more of an opportunity to do international travel that I haven't done for a while, because I was caring for him in his older age. So, it's always a challenge. Life is always changing. And, I think the one thing I do value is having a great team. I mean, the company is awesome. Our team works so hard, and they work out of integrity, and I trust them, and they're just such great people, every one of them. And so, to have that behind me to help me through the healing process, and to know that if I decide to travel, that if I'm out of touch for, a day or two, it's the company will be fine. And, they're going to do a great job. And I think that so much of that is just, it's a little bit of luck and a little bit of just hard work, of getting through the people, to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people.
Right. I can relate a lot to that putting dogs to sleep thing, because I had many, my wife had many too. Right now we have five. Not so long we had six. One of them we gave it for adoption, and we spent 2 to 3 months with the little guy, and just that was like completely heartbreaking, right? So imagine you're spending 10 years with a being. So what was the grieving process like? Is it something can actually accelerate, or is it something you just go through and tough it out?
I wish, it's funny, because part of me wishes that I could accelerate it, but a part of me knows that this is the healing process, right? You don't get over something so significant without spending the time to go through it. And, I've done my share of ugly crying, and, just this sadness that seems like it's all consuming, and trying to feel like, what do I do now? And having, I just, a couple of weeks ago, I was able to put pictures of him up, and I can look at pictures of him now and be grateful for the time that I spent with him. But, for the first 2 or 3 weeks, if I saw a picture of him, I'd start crying. So, it's just, it's the process of healing. It just takes time, and you have to feel the sadness. You have to be overwhelmed by the grief for a while, until over time, I think eventually it just stops to be such an overwhelming feeling. I know that I'll always miss him. And, just like I lost my mom about 12 years ago, and I will always miss her. But that as time went on, I got used to the idea of her not being around, and just carrying with me the memory of her. And with little Buddy, my dog, is the same thing. I carry around the memory of him. And a few months before he passed away, I had a tattoo put on my chest of him. And so I always touch that tattoo, and it reminds me of, it's his paw print. And so I touched his paw print, and that reminds me of him. And it's a very to me, it kind of connects me to those memories and those feelings, and I know that I'll never forget them. So but I don't know how long it takes. I've heard 6 months, I've heard a year, before someone, other people that I know that have had pets where they really feel connected to them. It takes a while before you can really, start to feel pseudo normal again, whatever that means.
Yep. Pets, I think first for people that don't have dogs specifically, right? Dogs, I think they're made to be with humans, right? We've evolved with these creatures, so we're like very symbiotic.
Mhm.
I learned so much from my dogs, you know. It's crazy how much I learned, especially on the love front, right? Because as business people, we're always like very much cerebral, but in the end there's only love, you know. When you end life there's only love. Love is your legacy basically, and there's no other beings on earth than dogs to teach us that. One hack which sounds terrible is to get another dog. Like that's all, that always fixes the hurt. And I'm not saying it's ethical or the right thing to do, right? But for example, us, my wife, she had a dog that she lost, and we even renamed that dog to a new one, so people will be able to do whatever they want with that. But that helped us grieve and or also give importance, right, to that last dog. Like his legacy is being pursued to this new one. And yeah, these companions, they travel with us anywhere. I have them in my office right now. They go on walks with me, right? Like every day I watch the stars with my dogs on the sofa we have on the rooftop. They're always with me. So yeah, it is terrible, 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 terrible when you lose a loved being like that, a furry four pawed furry friends. And yeah, we'll remember little buddy at least. So I'm curious about your next adventures as well, right? That opens new doors to your traveling. I mean, you've done so many things throughout this life. What's next on your travel or adventure list?
Um, it's so the nice thing about being able to work from anywhere means I can work from anywhere. So I'm not sure yet. I'm currently in San Diego, but I'm moving, or I'm looking at all the different places that I can go, and just trying to go through this healing process, and then when I'm ready to go take off to wherever I go, then I'm going to go do that. I'm kind of taking, I think the best advice that was given to me was to take one day at a time, and to think, just get through, do the things I have to do the things I do for my own health, going to surf, going to hike, the things that help me heal myself. And then when I'm ready, I'll get on an airplane and I'll go somewhere and I'll work from there for a while, and then just see where I end up. And I think it's an intentional approach to healing, where I this is what I want to do that. And I think everyone grieves in their own way. Like you said, getting another dog makes someone feel better. Yeah, I think that's great for the people that feel like that's the right thing. For me, I'm probably going to take at least 6 months to a year before I'm ready to consider that, because I want to, in some ways, honor his memory and my relationship with him, and then also just take time for myself to live for myself for a little while. And that's, like I said, everyone does things a little bit differently, and I would never judge anyone for their approach to healing from loss. This is the approach I feel that is going to help me the most. And, and I don't know when it's going to feel better. I don't know when it's not going to be something that's on my mind every day. But I'm going to give it time. And, the best advice a good friend of mine gave to me was just put one foot in front of the other, and just do what I can do.
Just like when you run an ultra marathon, it's one foot in front of the other. It's like this big terrible thing, right? If you look at it in the eyes, you never go anywhere. So just like focus on the present and then very next action. You chose a very different lifestyle from your peers, right? Like, do you feel like an alien sometimes? You feel that you've taken the right life path for yourself?
Both, yes. Yes, because running a tech company, especially outside of Silicon Valley and outside of a lot of these other, I haven't been to a conference in years. I have spoken at conferences over the years, And I found that they did help the business a little bit with bringing awareness, but whether it was COVID or my introverted kind of personality, or, we've decided to focus a lot more on inbound marketing and pay-per-click. And I certainly keep track of what's happening in the industry, but I don't really go to conferences. And has that hurt our growth? Probably. But it's sort of the path I've taken. And so in some ways, like you said, it feels like being on the outside because I'm not in there rubbing elbows with all of the leaders of the tech space. And in CRM, as you know, there are thousands of CRMs out there. So so we've kind of made an intentional approach to running the business, and we've tried to focus more on building these partnerships so that we can focus on the technology, and those partners can do all of the outreach. They can go out. And so, we give away a lot of the revenue so that we can focus on being a technology company, so that our partners can make all the revenue. They're doing the marketing, they're doing the sales, they're doing the customer service, and we're focusing primarily on how do we support our partners. And that's worked well. It's allowed us to stay a relatively small business. We leverage AI as much as we can to help make things efficient on our side. And then of course, we train our partners to leverage the same technology. But the idea is really to maintain a small, agile company so that we can continue to grow and support our customers without needing to anchor everybody down, because our whole company is remote and our employees are constantly traveling into various different places, and most of them are US citizens, but not all. And it's great to be able to give that freedom to everyone on the team.
Right. And do you feel that this alien perspective or unconventional, being that you are, I mean, you did 70 countries, climbed Kilimanjaro, and you're a pilot as well. Do you feel that this makes you ultimately a better CEO and or human being?
I it's funny, the term better. I think yes. I mean, I feel good about the direction that we've gone, and the breadth of experiences that I've had, I feel has really helped me personally. I try to share the experiences and the knowledge and the wisdom that I've gained through my experiences, which have not always been great, and I've made my share of mistakes. But try to share those with as many of, with my employees, certainly, and with our partners, and, to try to leverage this sort of unconventional way of thinking and doing business into an advantage for them. And so, I don't approach life the same way as, say, like someone in Silicon Valley that's used to getting VC money and having to pay back investors and having the bright, shiny offices and going to all the networking events and shaking hands with all the rich people that they know. That's not my life. And in many ways, it does limit me in what I can do, but in other ways, it opens up a lot of freedom in thinking differently from the way a lot of other people think. And I think that being able to pass that along to my employees and to our partners and to our customers, I think has actually made a big difference. We've got over 1,000 customers in, I think, 41 or 42 countries now. And, we're certainly not a huge company, but being able to provide our CRM and marketing automation and customer service tools to them and help them scale and grow it's a big thing. And, it's a big responsibility. A lot of companies rely on us, and I take that very seriously.
What legacy do you want to leave when it's all said and done?
That's a good question, because I've been thinking a lot about that. I think the most important legacy for me is to feel like I made an impact to help people, whatever their business is. And I know that sounds, trite or, canned or whatever, but it's really true. Like, I live my life that way. I really try to help the people around me. And whether that's to build out our CRM to help them solve their problems and scale their businesses, and leverage technology to help them do that, or if it's, in the sense of providing moral support or guidance or wisdom, or not even consulting, but strategic, talking to our partners about how to best approach their markets strategically, share the information that I've learned from my research. And, when we build new integrations or new functions, how do we help them use those to grow their businesses? And so it's really about leveraging all of those things together and combining them to help our customers. So that's the legacy really that I want to leave is that if someone looks back and they've used GreenRope or Complete CRM and they've run their business on it, they've been happy doing it. It's helped them grow their business. It's helped them run more efficiently. And they felt like we've supported them the whole way so that they know that they were never left out on their own to figure things out, that we're here to help them. So, and it's a pretty simple legacy, I guess, like to feel like I left the world a better place than how I found it. But that's truly what motivates me.
It's a good one. And most people don't ever think about that. So it's already good that you're starting to think about that. And on my side, it's like, yeah, should I even think about these things? I'm so young. I think it does help. And you need a lot of thought processing to have a good philosophy of yours before it's over, right? Before you're like friggin' 70 and crippled. So yeah, if that ever happens, and yeah, like strengthen your ikigai type of philosophy. Lars, where can people find out more about you?
So, well, we have our website, greenrope.com and completecrm.com. I'm on LinkedIn. Just find me, my name. It's pretty easy to find. And that's probably the best way to learn about me and what we do. And I'm happy to be a resource. If people have questions about CRM or marketing automation or customer service automation, I've been doing this now for 20 whatever years, and I wrote CRM for Dummies, and and that was 7 or 8 years ago now, but it's all the same stuff. It all still applies. And so I'm happy to share my knowledge in a way that, that can benefit other people.
That was Lars Helgeson.